of Israel's founders, that argument has little ground to stand on. And you coming here today, in our mind, makes you part of the people who want to see that changed. Thank you. So much of what you'll see here today was made possible thanks to the amazing collaboration with Google for Startups and this beautiful facility, which has been our home in the past 4 weeks. Much like they have given us a home, the Google for Startups team supports so many startups in Israel, serving as a place for the ecosystem to gather in. We are very happy to invite Orit Shilo, head of Google for Startups Israel, to the stage.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to see so many people here today. I'm Orit. I lead Google for Startups effort in Israel. Our mission in Google for Startups is to act as a center for startups, or actually, I would say, as the first and second and third circle of support for early stage startups, for the non-founders in the crowd. You must know that early stage founders have so many areas and challenges that they deal with on a daily basis, and we try to do the little we can in order to help them focus on their startup and succeed. And within that mission, we do thrive to act as a source of inspiration for the next generation of founders and for the industry in solving for inclusion and diversity in tech. And that kind of brings us to why when these guys connected with us, it was such a no-brainer to partner with Women of Startup Nation. It just fits right into our alley. And we were actually talking over VC with the team over the summer, and we were waiting for you guys to land, and the day you landed was such a happy day, an exciting day for us as well. So this partnership has been really amazing. With that, I'll just say a few words of thank you and mention or recognize, first of all, this dream team, Bar, Oshat, and Jordan, who really... You guys are amazing, and I've seen a lot of programs and a lot of stuff going on in the industry, but you three are the most hardworking and dedicated and devoted team I really have ever seen. So amazing job. And to the startups that are presenting today, first of all, good luck. We love you. And I hope you're already a part of the campus family, and I hope you'll stick around with us and then also do the famous give back of sharing your learnings and experience with other earlier stage startups that are going to show up in the next months and years to come. And I want to say also thank you to my team, and especially Sarit. I don't know if she's here. Ines, Sarit. So they've been doing all the work. We had a small part, but we take pride in even being a small part of what you're going to see today. And Sarit was really the key leader on that from our team. So thank you for all of your support. And with that, I'm going to give you back the stage. And thank you all.
Thank you so much, Orit, Sarit, and the entire team at Google. We're very, very fortunate to be here, and I cannot say that enough. We cannot say that enough. Now that you've heard a little bit from our amazing partners at Google, I want to tell you a short history of what is Women of Startup Nation. Where did this name come from? So in late 2016, I founded a Facebook page, a small project called Women of Startup Nation. And the idea and premise behind it was to interview and showcase role models in the Israeli ecosystem. And the idea is that if you can see it, you can be it. Showcasing these female role models will inspire the next generation of women. The very first thing that I want to say is that this project grew very quickly, both in scope and in terms of the projects that it addressed, and that in large part was due to Eden Adler, who I see has a camera up, but she's been an amazing, amazing partner in crime and superhero in growing this Women of Startup Nation community. Eventually, organizations in the ecosystem started reaching out to us. So accelerators and other organizations reached out to us to help them increase their female applicant pipelines. On the other side, we were constantly interviewing technical female founders and learning about unique challenges that they faced. So the combination of hearing the demand from the accelerator side and hearing about the stories of female entrepreneurs made us realize that there was a need for an accelerator like this one. And that's where the idea was birthed. So thank you to Eden. And thank you to all the women who are women of Startup Nation and serve as role models for the generation to come. The hope is that in the future, when people look back at the gender gap today, they view it purely as a history where society was not operating at its full ability to innovate. One woman who's the epitome of a woman of Startup Nation is Dorit Dor. Dorit Dor is the vice president of products at Checkpoint and has been leading Checkpoint's R&D since 1995. She was awarded one of Israel's top power women for 2019 by Forbes Israel, and we are so thrilled and fortunate to have her here today to speak before the startups pitch. So thank you so much, Dorit.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. That mainly means that I'm very old. So I'll do 4 things. I'll talk a bit about my background. I'll talk about what I learned about technology. I'll speak about what I learned about women. And I'll try to give you few of my ideas for your pitches. And wish you all good luck. So a bit about me. I worked in 2 small startups in my life. One while I was a student in the university before the army, what's called Atuda. I worked in a small startup that was called at that time המימד הרביעי. And then it was bought at some later time by BMC, but by $800 million. By the time I was not there, so I didn't earn anything of that. I'll tell you about this in a second. Then I spent 8 years in the army, and I finished the army with a PhD, a master, and major rank as a leader of an R&D group. And then I joined a small startup again called Checkpoint. We were 15 people in 95. I joined to manage the R&D group. I took it over Shlomo. I managed the R&D, system, IT, support, QA, all the technical functions at that time. And then we grew. Today I manage R&D, product management, business development, and corporate development. So I also partner with companies in Israel and outside, and I'm responsible to all the acquisitions that we do. So in this short history, a few things to notice. So first, I learned about the need for technology to answer a real need in המימד הרביעי. They were people that came from large mainframe organizations. At that time, there was a large operation of large mainframes. So there were people who were, you wouldn't believe this, they were tasked with running jobs on the computer. So in the morning, they would first run the job of how many hours every person worked, then how much vacation he took, then how much the taxes he should pay, and at the end, the expenses of the company. And they would actually manually run the job one after the other and control them, which was the first product of המימד הרביעי, which I didn't invent it, but I was in this small startup when we were about 3, was doing the amazing thing of a large assembly program that had conditional logic in what order to run the jobs and pre-programming of this order to save the manpower in the operational center of running the jobs manually, right? You wouldn't believe that. You would write it today in a few lines of Python. You wouldn't think it's any issue, but there were a few other stories like this. So in my first startup, I learned a lot about the need to be customer focused and to understand real world problems, because even at the time, I didn't think it was a major problem to solve, but apparently it was. So that was during the first startup. I would say also, because we are in a kind of a woman zone, I was one of 2 women in high school in a 20 kids class. In the army, we were rarely recruit a woman to our research part of this, branch. So I was used to be kind of lonely woman there, but just nobody told me ever that woman is a problem. So I never considered it a problem. And I also joined Checkpoint. I didn't think it was anything special. Checkpoint, you know what we're doing. We're doing security. So for the many last years in the unit and then in Checkpoint, I'm doing security, and it's amazing ride. And then I could say that we solve real problems of real people. We get letters from things like saying how people solved their life problem with us, which are really amazing. So we feel we address real issues and real fears. Alongside of being at Checkpoint, it was an amazing ride. I started with 15 people. Today I manage 1,500. And the growth, the scale, how to evolve technology, how to stay relevant, and how to continue and innovate, I think is a great challenge for every company. And I take pride for taking part of this at Checkpoint. I feel lucky. I also try to take care a bit about women, so I volunteer in the She Codes organization a bit. And we have some mentoring program for women, but overall, I don't think I move the needle because we are still a bit less than 20% women in STEM, and that's unfortunate. So if anyone has a magic, then tell me, and I'll happily join that magic to, in how to solve this problem more dramatically. So that was kind of me. And also being a woman, I'm a mother of two. All the family is a cyber family, a husband cyber, a kid mathematician, and another kid computer scientist. We all share the same branch in the army, so we are all kind of replica. And so we have a very concentrated focus, and we have lots of fun when there is an announcement on a risk on an Intel chipset that is very unique or something. There is a very lively discussion at that point in the house. So now a bit what I learned about technology. So Checkpoint is a product company. And that's a great place to be. Different organizations strive for different things. There are organizations that strive for customer focus and customer relations, so they build relationship with large customers. There are organizations that are built on operational excellence and how to make things very efficient. And we strive of products and technologies, so being in the products and technologies side of Checkpoint is a great place to be. And some of the things I learned is, one, that it has to be customer focused. So I told you like my first application, but there are many after. That the focus of the customer really matter, but you have to also listen, not just hear what you want to hear. So people will appraise things you did, but it has to solve a real need of a real user. The second thing, which is kind of an extension of the first thing, is that it has to solve a really big problem. Because if it's going to solve small problem, then somebody else will solve it, somebody else that has something similar to this, the whole effort and risk of starting somewhere, you want to reach there, but you won't be exact, so you reach there or you reach there. And if it's not really a big problem that you are solving, then by the time you get to the solution you want to get, it's not such a big gap versus the market. So there are many people that says, but this is a problem. And I say, yes, this is a problem, but people have 10 other problems like this. So I'll give one problem of complexity we had in selling DLP. We had great ideas on how to do data leak prevention products, and we did an early proof of concept. We went to customers, we put something on their gateway, and we showed them how their data gets leaked. And we gave them the list of 20, leaked data things they have. And they said, that's terrible, put it aside. Why is it terrible? We are showing you a real risk. They're saying, you are showing me 20 things. I don't have capacity to handle more than 2. If I'm seeing 20 things, I'm liable. If you give me the important 2, I'll handle them. If you get me 20 things and I'm liable to them, I have no problem. I have a problem with this. Don't show this to me. I don't want to see it. So sometimes what you think is a real problem translate to not so easy to solve, and you have to offer a solution and to understand how in the next phase you will help them solve the problem and not just show them the data leak. And the third thing I'll say about technology is that it's kind of a cycle, especially with the enterprise. The first and most important part, because without it you won't kind of live, is the need to notice. So your thing should be easy enough to understand so that you will be noticeable. It's not very easy. Everybody has the same, highlights, pictures, etc. So you have to be noticed. Then somebody has to use you after they noticed you, and they have to like what they use. Only then they would start to scale it to more usage scenario, to more advanced cases, and only then they will really become a customer, a loyal customer, that would use you all around their things. And all these stages are important. So that's some of the things I learned about technologies and products. Now, few observations about women. So the most obvious one is I get a new employee, he's fresh from school, he gets into my room and he says that he wants to be a CEO later in his life. So how could I help him reach this goal? This is a statement that no woman made in my room, unfortunately, but I'm working on getting the first one to say this. So women are more conservative. It also goes to conservative getting VC money. How much money will this startup make? Think big. If it won't make it, anyway, 80% of the startups don't make what they promise, so it's not a big deal. But if you do make it, let's name a number that is worth betting at. That's, I think, something that we could avoid and learn to avoid and learn how to manage. There are many other subtleties, but I want to say something good about being a woman. There are two things I'll mention. One is that we outlived them. That's a separate story. But we work. Women have great results. They worked in team. They are team players. They have a good understanding of the whole system. They think wide. But the second thing is good for you as an individual. You get to be noticed. If I'm in a room full of CIOs and they are all men, somebody could think that this is an disadvantage, but this is actually a very big advantage because everybody will remember me and I could go sit by anyone's. And if I'm willing to speak up, then I have better shot than any of the men around me. So being a woman is a great advantage also when there are less women. So don't hesitate to use it. Sometimes use the tools you have. Men also use the tools they have, so it's not a big deal. So I said 4 things, who I am, some insights on technologies, some insights about being a woman, and maybe a few advices for the pitches. I think that what works is passion and real examples, real stories. That was what works. There is an interesting book in Hebrew called מה זה משנה, or how to change, people's opinions, and you could flood them with facts. You could put tons of numbers on the wall. The percentage of usage is going that way, and the money is going that way, and if you don't use it, you'll get this thing, and you'll put hundreds of details, and it won't convince anybody to do anything. That's general in life. It will just convince each side on the opinion he pre-brought to the table. So everybody will use the data to prove how his upfront point, and you could see this in the election, just prove what he was thinking upfront. So don't spend your time on this. Be passionate and tell a story, a real world story worth 100 facts. I'm a mathematician, I like facts, but I just learned they don't work. So good luck in your project. I'm sure you are doing amazing stuff, and don't hesitate to do many more startups with women and for women, and to develop the women technology community in Israel. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorit. If you just give me 1 second, I'm going to set up our presentation. that should be showing in a second. And it's pitch time. So each of the 11 companies are going to have 4 minutes to share their stories with you. We won't be taking any questions directly after the pitches, but all of the founders will be at the reception on the 6th floor, which you're all invited to, immediately after the pitches, and we invite you to meet them there. So without further ado, we welcome our first presentation from Zomo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny Drezen, and I'm CEO and founder of Zomo. So 5 years ago, I moved to Israel and founded my first startup, a consumer app in the travel space. As we grew larger and more successful, I found myself spending, but actually wasting, increasing amounts of time looking for the perfect images to represent my brand. And my frustration with this process led to the idea for Zomo, which is a smart visual search and synthetic editor that lets anyone get the right images for their marketing or branding needs. So putting this in some context, in our increasingly visual world, brands need to connect with consumers across multiple channels and produce lots and lots of engaging content. While budgets for photo shoots have gone down, the market for photo libraries and stock sites has exploded, with over 1 billion images available for download online. But anyone who's ever used a stock site knows how frustrating it can be. It takes a lot of time to find what you want. Often the results are a quality compromise, which then results in additional edits to get that more unique or bespoke image. In fact, the average search and editing time for a photo, for a high-profile campaign or a website or an app is between 2 to 3 hours, and it could be much more. Zomo's solution is to create a meta search engine, so we're aggregating between different photo libraries. We enable you to search, we use AI and deep learning to enable you to search the way designers think about images, which is visually, and customize what you get intuitively. So let's take a look at what we're building. So what I'm showing here is the ability to search in a more sketch-like fashion, but without needing artistic skills. We're showing how you can have more control over the layout and composition of an image, and how the same textual search, which in this case is girl looking at cupcakes, can have very different visual results. And now I'm showing a synthetic editor, whereby with a few clicks of a button, you can make changes to your photo. So a little bit about our audience. So we divide content creators into professionals and generalists. So professionals are designers, ad agencies, marketers who are often using hundreds of images a week or a month. So there's 500,000 creative agencies worldwide. It's a really large market, and our SaaS product will be targeting this market. So worldwide, the spend on stock photos is $5 billion. But when you calculate in the cost of searching and editing photos, we estimate this to be much larger at $60 billion, and we believe this is our market opportunity. So we have some amazing design partners on board, including publishers like the Wall Street Journal and The Guardian, and advertising agencies from around the world. So we have a diverse and experienced team. My background is in media, marketing, and branding. My CTO has 25 years experience in Microsoft Elbit as a full-stack developer. We have advisors at the cutting edge of machine learning, image generation, and the stock image world. And last but not least, we have pre-seed investment from BetaWorks Ventures, which is an early-stage New York VC. And we're looking for additional investors to come on in our round. We are Zomo, and we help you translate an image from your mind's eye to photographic reality. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gali, the CEO and co-founder of Superco. We all can see that places are becoming more than just a space. Co-living, co-working, co-traveling, co-neighborhood, we see it all around. People are looking to engage in the offline world, in the physical world. Even here in Google Campus, this is exactly what they're trying to do. co-experience, meaningful co-experience around their asset, people, community, spaces, and industry know-how. The real estate company understand this movement, and they are trying to change the same. From property owners and operators, they are becoming service companies. They are trying to build thriving communities around their assets. To decrease churn, today they are suffering from a 30% yearly churn, to create a brand so they will be able in the future to charge more per square feet, and to grow with new business models based on new services that they will offer their tenants. So they're already doing that. They're adapting technologies, they're dedicating a budget, they are becoming user-centric, and they hire a community manager or user experience manager, but those people don't have the platform to do it. They do it manually, so they cannot scale. Can you imagine a salesperson doing sales without a CRM system? It cannot scale. And this is exactly what we are doing. We're providing them this platform. Let's see how we do it. Okay, so we provide the community manager a dashboard with all the insights about his community. The platform is coming with a predefined templates that enable them to create a core experience in few minutes. All the processes are combined with the automation, chatbots that automate the community manager work. All the communication with the tenant and with the vendor is based on existing popular messaging app, like you see over here. In case the bot fails to do a specific operation, the manager is notified about that and know how to interfere and close the gap. You can see that although that we have an API because we are a platform, small vendor can contact us really with messaging, so no integration is required. And actually, in the end, it's really easy to create PR around a specific co-experience. So the CRE, commercial real estate market in the US is big. You see a huge market. Since we are a platform and we are a SaaS, we are going to charge 10 cents per square feet, which make it a big market. Our unique and differentiation versus the competition is that we are a platform. With a platform, we enable real estate companies to grow with services really fast without the need of coding and integration. What is our current status? So we are bootstrapping for the last year. We work with 7 communities and reach over 50K tenants. We actually learned a lot about what does it mean to engage in the physical world. Based on the MVP, we got 2 pilots, one in Tel Aviv and one in New York, with one of the biggest real estate companies in New York that owns more than 40 million square feet. We have a dream team, Shirley, 15 years in development, specializing in developing a platform for enterprise. Ziv, our chief community officer, ex-Mamam, sold his previous startup, psychologist that specializes in the community area. Adi, serial entrepreneur, 5 years working on different ventures in the community space. I'm coming from the high-tech industry, 20 years of experience. In my last position, I was the VP product of LivePerson, introducing the messaging and AI platform to the biggest brands. We are currently looking for potential customers and potential investors to go with us the road. So if it's relevant, let's meet. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. My name is Inga, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of All Types AI. What we do at All Types is an AI-based solution for the automation of the custom brokerage. So what is custom brokerage? It is a process of submitting information about international shipment to the customs. The freight forwarding companies who is handling the shipping process, also handling the custom brokerage. Each international shipment is accompanied by shipping documents, and each item in the shipment has to be classified, and the classification of this item and all the relevant information about this item is manually submitted into the ERP systems of the freight forwarding companies, which is integrated to the customs information systems. So imagine how much time it takes to submit one shipment with over than hundreds different items. Obviously, it creates a real bottleneck in the entire workflow. And no one is happy about it. The end customers, the importers and exporters, are suffering from delayed deliveries, and the freight forwarders are frustrated with the high operation costs. So we are talking about $40 average operation cost to prepare one shipment for the custom clearance. And there are 600 million shipments a year. A total of $24 billion are spent by the freight forwarding companies on the custom clearance operations. And actually, the problem is much bigger. The freight forwarding companies just can't afford to deal with such high operation costs, and the pressure is really high. The customers push for lower prices and faster deliveries, and there is a shortage of professional employees. In the bottom line, the freight forwarding companies are struggling to survive, operating under 10% margins. So we are significantly reduce the cost of the custom clearance operation using deep learning technology and leveraging historical data. Our system is able to recognize the relevant information from the shipping documents, to classify the products, and to perform robotic process automation to submit all the information to the ERP systems. We eliminate human errors and expedite deliveries. The biggest industry players are eager to use our solution. DHL Express has become our design partner, and we are about to start a pilot by the end of this month. Our team is the perfect combination of domain expertise and technology expertise. I'm in the field of international trade for many years, leading export, import, and purchasing departments, and my co-founder, Igor, a data scientist with a lot of experience in NLP, machine learning, and computer vision. Both of us have the experience of building products from scratch. Thank you, and join us in creating the future of international trade.
Right hand, left hand. Hi, I'm Karen. I'm founder and CEO of FanFund. Thank you for coming. So I want you to imagine your ordinary life. You go to work, you stay in traffic, mother-in-laws, elections, but no culture, no live music, no theater, no comedy. That's the reality of many people who live outside the large city. There's a huge culture access gap between the large city and secondary and tertiary markets. Tertiary, I said it right. All the yellow dots are the people who live outside the large cities, and they have to spend time and money traveling to the large city in order to enjoy the culture they want. And it's not because artists don't want to perform. They do. It's the only way they make a living today. Artists used to make money out of selling albums. No one sells albums anymore. 95% of artists' income come from live shows. The local venues as well. They make money out of sold-out shows adapted to the local community demand. That's why they stand 40% of the time empty. And why is that? Why is it not going? Okay. It's because the paradigm shifted. Technical issues in Google. No way. Help. A blonde woman calling for help. Someone to the rescue. I can sing something, but you will all go.
Yeah, this is a Neil problem.
Oh, this is a battery problem. We need a charger.
Thank God it's not me.
We need a battery charger. This is just video. It's not also power. I don't care.
I could do that too, you know.
All right, so Karen, how about we let you start fresh, and people get double the Karen, double the fun, and maybe we'll take a quick break to do thank yous. Sounds good. עובד לך? It's a treat for everyone. Awesome.
Better. Great.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Very sorry. And thank you, Karen, and thank you everyone who spoke until now. And we have about half more ahead of us. So we wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you. And
Technical problems, market problems.
yeah. And we'll use this opportunity to say a bit of thank you. We were, apart from the amazing Google for Startup support, we had a lot of supporters for this program. We were extremely fortunate to have the support of incredible speakers who come from all parts of the startups ecosystem. Everyone you see in your programs that we handed out today came in to lead sessions in their area of expertise or to lead office hours to help the companies. The list that you have is too long for us to name everyone out, but you can see it in the demo booklet, and it's a really big testament to the strength of the Israel startup ecosystem and the support of our founders. Thank you for everything you do for this ecosystem.
So in addition to amazing speakers who have held incredible office hours and led sessions, we've also had for each company mentors that have really devoted their time to helping these companies one-on-one. And they've actually given their time beyond just the length of the program all the way until the end of the year. And we cannot say enough thank you to the mentors who have taken so much of their time to give back. One of the core tenets of the accelerator is a reciprocity concept where you're always giving back, and these mentors have really shown and put action towards giving back to the accelerator. It would not have been at all possible without you. And so we have a mentor slide. I'll just read out the names very quickly. Thank you to Adila Vanan, Adi Zellner, Efrat Rapaport, Judith Levy, Leah Cromwell, Maya Gura, Nitzan Cohen-Aratzi, Noah Barbiro, Orly Shoavi, Ortal Tevel, Ronnie Sternberg, Ruth Amaro, Tammy Bronner, and Yael Alroy. Thank you.
And finally, can you hear me now? And finally, we want to say thank you to Google for Startups again. Google for Startups has been an incredible home for all of us, and particularly for the companies that are working in our accelerator. And so we want to give specific thanks to Orit Shiloh, Sarita Mar, Marta Moses, Inbal Perlman, Neil Goldstein, who you just saw work as magic on the computer, Dikla Matthias, and the entire team. You guys are absolutely incredible. And finally, to the mentors, please come back and find us after. We have some extra swag and more goodies for you all. So without further ado, Karen will do this again, and apologies for the technical difficulties.
This is a dream come true that you get Karen twice.
And honestly, only Karen can handle this, so,
Yeah, so
you know.
please enjoy. Thank you, Karen.
Is that working now? Do you know how to operate it? I don't know.
Okay, do you want to choose it?
Can you make it work? I'll do it Madonna style.
Turn it on, and that's all.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Much better, huh?
Much better. Much better. Now I'm twice as nervous, so I don't care. Thanks. So you already imagine the beginning, right? And you understand that there's a culture access gap between the large city and the secondary market. Because if you don't live in Tel Aviv or Ramat Gan or nearby, so you know the problem exists in Israel and in anywhere else in the world. And we already discussed that 90%, 95% of artist income is from live show. This is a huge business. And 40% of the time, the local venues stand empty. So the problem is because the paradigm shifted in this industry that has changed dramatically for the last decade, but still work on traditional methods. So still based on partial data and gut feeling of promoted. That means that every live show is a huge financial risk. So we have the fans that want their live shows and the culture near them without spending crazy time and money traveling to large cities. We have the artists, they want more shows with less financial risk. And we have the local venue that need to match what they bring to their venue to the local audience demand. So this is what we do. We are making culture accessible to communities everywhere, and we're doing it by de-risking the live shows for artists and venues. We do it by joining fan engagement using crowdfunding model with advanced data analysis, providing a marketplace for artist and venue. We're making decision where to perform a lot less risky for them. Some of the things we provide our client are the initial funding to raise money to the break-even point of every show. We're giving them demand map, price point analysis, tour optimization tools, and many, many more. We have a business model that is based now on transaction only. This is how we work in the pilot in Israel. We're evolving into a SaaS model with the agency that represent the artist and the local venues. This is a huge market. We're talking about a $10 billion market in the US and $2 billion market in the UK, rising each year. And these numbers are just the music industry. We do not handle only music, everything that is live. We do comedy and lectures and theater and workshop and everything that goes on stage. Our competition map, well, there are the giants like Live Nation, who everybody knows and making a lot of money. They address the A-list artists and the A-list venues, the big arenas. We address the secondary level of artists and local venues. With us, there are two more startups that are raising a lot of money for the last year, one from Korea and one from the UK. Our approach is more holistic than theirs, and we're referring to the local venues as key factor in this ecosystem, which they don't. So we bootstrapped our way to MVP. We raised a press seed a year ago that helped us launch our Israeli pilot that is running for the last year. We did a lot of shows around all over the country. Last one was a week ago, 500 people, sold out show in Kochav Yair for Arkady Dukhin, and many, many other shows, mainly in the periphery of Israel. A successful POC in every aspect. We participated in Mass Challenge, nominated as the company that is most likely to succeed, and now in Women of Startup Nation, which is a great experience. Thank you, guys. Our next stop is the UK. We partnered with a local player, an organization called MVT, Music Venue Trust. It's an organization that's responsible for more than 800 venues across the kingdom. Sir Paul McCartney is on their board, and we hope to meet them someday. And they are bringing us directly to our clients, to our customers, to the local venues that are struggling every day to bring the right audience and to minimize their financial risk. A word about our team. We're all over 40, so we have a lot of experience. I won't bore you, but we come from technology and from strategy and from marketing and UX and UI. We all have extensive domain knowledge, and we really love what we do. We're just starting our seed round, so if you have time later, we will be happy to talk to you about culture and music and money. And I want to finish with a quote that emphasizes the ideology behind everything we do. That culture, with our startup here saving life, but culture has a huge part over people, over communities, and over society, and it's something that concerns us all. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Danielle Nagler. I'm CEO and co-founder of Adaptable Tools. We work in financial services where we've developed a turbocharged tool. Oops, sorry. It's going so well. You're welcome to join our team. Very happily. Adaptable Tools. We've developed a turbocharged tool that enables enterprise users to manage their data better. To explain what that means, let me introduce you to some people who aren't using us. This is Tom, the trader. He has a desk full of data. As you can see, lots of tables, also known as data grids or blotters. They all look different and work differently. That means it makes it difficult for Tom to see, for example, a currency move he wants to act on. And when he tries to key in data, he makes stupid mistakes because he's in a rush. This is Dave, the developer. He builds the systems that drive Tom mad. He really loves clever algorithms, but unfortunately, every system he works on needs a user interface. So he guesses what users might want and spends months building bespoke data grids, only for users to demand changes. He has 60 to 100 colleagues who are working on different systems, doing exactly the same thing every year in every region of every major bank. Up till now, there is no off-the-shelf system that can solve these users' problems. These kinds of data grids organize the information very neatly into rows and columns, but they don't have the tools to handle large amounts of data or to deal with streaming data. Excel is great, but it lacks the audit features that enterprise users are looking for in order to handle management and regulatory requirements. DIY or bespoke building every single time is expensive and inefficient and ineffective. The adaptable blotter solves these problems with one simple developer tool containing everything that users need to manage their data. It's a bit like putting an Intel chip inside your computer to power it up to the max. Written for the web and developed with users, the adaptable blotter works in any data-driven system. It has searching and filtering functions to enable you to find key data quickly and efficiently. There are editing options to enable you to update multiple cells very fast and also to make other changes that you want to avoid fat finger errors while you input. You can highlight data changes. There are a multiplicity of grid management functions, and you can use charting and other forms of visualization to show data relationships clearly. I have an award-winning track record in leading innovation, and I've brought in new technologies and ways of working across different sectors. My co-founder and CTO spent 20 years solving data management problems in leading banks around the world. Together, we brought version 1 of the Adaptable Blotter to the market 18 months ago. Our paying customers now include 4 major banks who are using the Adaptable Blotter in critical systems to drive competitive advantage. Despite inbound marketing only, we have clients in the US, in Europe, and in Australasia, and we're talking to many of the most influential players within financial services. We have an ambition. We'd like to see the Adaptable Blotter power every desktop within the financial world. Over the next 5 years, every financial services application will be redeveloped for the web. Every one of those is going to need a data grid. We want to build the Adaptable Blotter's reputation as a super smart, easy to use, affordable and flexible solution. We want to be the default option for desktop data management in financial services in the same way that Excel is with spreadsheets. After that, there's the rest of the data-driven universe to consider. We're looking for people to join us on our journey. Thank you.
We did this part a little bit early. But just to show you the names that we talked about, these are all the amazing ecosystem speakers who came in, and these are the amazing mentors, so we'll give them one more round of applause. And we'll keep moving from here.
Hi, I'm Roy from Otomi, and Otomi is making AI accessible. Mic's on. Hi, I'm Roy from Otomi, and Otomi is making AI accessible to any organization. So deep learning is a breakthrough in AI. It's recently passed human performance in tasks such as understanding speech and images. But the big promise with deep learning is it allows us to build problems to solve problems for solutions using data labeling rather than developing algorithms. But building deep learning systems is hard. You can try to outsource it, but it's very expensive and you still need to bring your own domain expertise, which means it's not really fully outsourced. Also, the data keeps changing, so it can't be a turnkey project, and you don't have enough control over the process. In fact, that's what we've kept hearing from organizations that tried. So you decide to build your own team, but this team has to be comprised of some expensive, hard-to-find talents, such as data engineers, DevOps people, and of course AI. Each member of the team takes months to recruit, and when a member leaves, it's a big impact. This is time you waste with very little progress. Once the team's in place, they have to develop infrastructure for ingesting data, training models, and deployment. And since the models are data-driven, data processing, dataset management, and complex tool for labeling all have to be built and maintained. This is common to many AI problems, and yet, for lack of alternatives, developers build this on their own and keep reinventing the wheel. Actually, this is exactly what I did in my last job, where I was in charge of building from scratch an AI organization operation for a startup. But it doesn't have to be this way. It can just be a service. It can be Otomi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dina. Otomi is a web service for creating complete AI systems that are ready for integration in your solutions. While you focus on providing the data and improving the model, Otomi does all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. This is how building AI flow looks today. And this is how we're changing it with Automi. It starts with connecting the data to the platform without labeling in advance. Because in Automi, labeling and training are steps that are fused together in a visual, data-driven interface. This significantly reduces the time that is needed for labeling, and it provides immediate feedback, for the users to understand how much the model has already learned. We also use advanced techniques to minimize the required labeled examples and to speed up model training time. Now, it's easy to integrate the trained model because it's automatically deployed and ready to use via our API or third-party integrations. Now, model training is an ongoing job. And since many times you will need to expand your data set, for example, to add more edge cases or to add more classes. That's why Automi makes dataset curation, continuous teaching, and model version control all be as easy as possible. Just a second. Currently, we offer Automi for the computer vision domain because this is where deep learning has matured the most, and since the visual data for businesses and organizations is exponentially growing. With Automi, existing R&D organizations can harness deep learning without having to first build an AI organization or outsource. This is our team. I built my first AI in high school. It was an automated veterinarian. Since then, I've been coding and creating software products. Roy has been training neural networks for over 10 years and has built a successful AI organization. We felt the pain. We know how to solve it. And we believe that AI is about the data. And this is why we make all the rest a service. Automi's mission is to make AI accessible to any organization. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tali. I'm co-founder and CEO of Ask Lily.
Hello, I'm Dana. I'm the co-founder and the CMO of Ask Lily.
We started Ask Lily in order to help women find the perfect fashion matches online. Look at this picture. What do they have in common? They all may look different, but actually get the same result when searching the web. Women spend almost 6 hours looking for clothes. 74% of them will leave the site without buying anything. We are changing the way women search and buy fashion items online and make the experience more personal and fun. Instead of randomly browsing the web, we developed this smart algorithm that studies each woman's style and preference and provides her with personal selection. So how does it work? Take a look.
I just want to see the sound. Google again.
Excuse me real quick. Just so we're not sitting in the dark.
It's worth waiting.
Output. You gotta change it.
Oh. I think it might be because.
You can feel your
there we
back.
go.
Thank you, Neil.
Okay.
Just presentation.
Should be able to hit play now.
You like to look and feel your best, so you shop online, searching the world for your perfect style. The problem is that there are so many websites that look the same and have too many options that you would never wear and that are not your style. It feels like nobody knows you. Ask Lily is a personal shopper and fashion assistant that finds items from across the web based on your style preferences. And it's all available from the comfort of your home. Simply tell Lily which style you like so that Lily can get to know you better. Click Start Shopping, and just like magic, Lily's AI will immediately recommend only the fashion items that suit you and only you. But here's the best part. With Ask Lily, you can create your own profile, upload your photos, and choose your size and body shape. This is what fashion shopping was always meant to be. Easy, fast, and simple.
Amazing. Not finished yet. I'm sure that you all heard about many solutions for personalization combined with AI for the fashion industry. What we're doing different and really distinguish us from the competition is that we have 3 layers of personalization. We have the data that the women are happy to share with us because they know the more we know about them, the better the result will be. We have rich data on every clothing article that we collect, along with the insight of human stylists. All of this with our integrated technology that know to present online recommendation in real time is unique solution to Ask Lily.
So our market is estimated in more than $100 billion. We are focused in women between 25 till 44 who have career, little time, but lots of buying power. Ask Lily business model will be based on 2 channels. First, retailer will pay a monthly fee in order to promote their catalog on Ask Lily website. On the other hand, we get commission for each transaction from affiliate program. Ask Lily is in a great stage now. First, we launch our product on July. We have almost 600 users that already signed up to our beta group. We collaborate with a few influencers in the US, and the most significant achievement for us is that we signed agreement with 6 leading brands in the US like Nordstrom, Revolve, Asus, Bloomingdale's, Loft, and Topshop. With me in the team, Tali, my co-founder and the CEO, she was the VP Marketing of Total Manpower and the founder of Coffee Express. Ellis Wade is our CTO. He has 25 years experience working together with startup. Shirand served at Mamram, and myself, I work in some of the leading consumer companies as Johnson & Johnson, Kimberly-Clark, and Barilla, specialized in both B2C and B2B market. So if you're an investor, a partner, or a consumer, so please let's talk.
And everyone that will register today, we will send a coupon.
Hi upstairs. How are you? Oh, nice to see you. Having fun? Me too. Are you talking to God? Yeah. I was in his place, you know. One. Okay, nice. Can I have a clicker? What? You know, you have a fun, and I like this very much. And it's a lot of nice faces over here. And but I want you to be focused a little bit, please. Okay, this is our first slide. I want you to listen carefully and watch closely. Because no matter what I'll say, no matter what I'll show or do, you will forget 80% of it until tomorrow. And it's totally okay for every day-to-day life. But think about it if I say you're doing the same way in your work. Well, guys, I have a news for you. You are losing your money. In fact, $37 billion. The budget of Pennsylvania state is spent annually on unproductive meeting in US. Sounds crazy? Right. Think about it this way. 5 people sitting in one meeting room for 1 hour, each one of them costs $100, and nobody taking notes. As a result, $500 are wasted in thin air. Well, we as humans are really good in innovation, creativity, and open-minded thinking. We are pretty clumsy in taking notes and documenting them. And we hate to do it, so we don't do it. That's why, sorry, yeah, promo. That's why DeepTalk creates a smart solution to back you up with automated meeting minutes for any type of conversation, in meeting room, in office, or even on the go with your smartphone. So how it works? You know, you push the button, and conversation's been recorded, transcribed, and now's the feature, summarized. The action item and decision will automatically appear, and you can share them with your team. From now, you have a platform. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck? You know? Yeah, from now you have a platform where all your conversation lives, and they are connected to all your system in your work.
So, well, how we came to this solution? Well, actually, we spoke to people. We talked to a lot of people from different countries across the globe, from different countries and in different positions. And actually, they were really happy to share with us their needs and their frustration about how they manage their meetings. And you know what? Each time we said them, we do automated meeting minutes, we always got the same response. Where should we sign up? Well, from a single sentence, we knew it is demand. Now, it doesn't mean we have no competition. They're just not doing what we are. They are transcribing, while we are summarizing. They are trying to change your working habits, while we try to make things work for you. And you know what? Actually, it's even not about taking meeting notes. It's all about the vision. We're going to bring a quantum leap in the culture of collaboration work. And who we are? So here we are, hiking in Norway, probably the most beautiful place on earth. I'm Valeria, CTO. This is Victor, CEO, but also my best friend, co-founder and spouse. We are together for 18 years, happily married now. A bit about myself. My passion to NLP started during my computer science degree in the Technion, where I created a system that answered Stack Overflow questions. And then I had 10 years long successful career as a technological leader, both in international corporates and Israeli startups. And I'm so happy to be back here to NLP with DeepTalk. And Victor? Well, Victor knows how to build a product people love. He already has a record of creating an AI product that was spun off to a separate startup that raised $35 million up to date. He also was a lead engineer in creating mission-critical airborne communication system that now flies on Chinook helicopters in US Army. And just one last thing I want you to remember. The human interaction with machines is changing now. We are more willing to speak to smart assistants, but we also expect them to understand us like a human. The time for DeepTalk has come. So please, create and innovate and leave the hassle to AI. Thank you.
Oh. So hi everyone. I know you're all guys tired, so I have some great news. We're almost done. By the way, I'm Judith from Simp. Let's play a little game. Look at these two houses. Which one you think it's better investment opportunity? Tough, huh? Now, let's say you have to choose between all of these options. Easy, right? Well, welcome to my journey when I was trying to find great real estate opportunity for my investors. I found out that those opportunities are like diamonds, extremely difficult to find them in a large ocean of data. Every year, more than $500 billion are spent by investors on single-family homes, but only 12% are spent by real estate funds. You're probably asking yourself, why only 12%? Well, mainly because real estate funds rely on human knowledge, local expertise, and gut decision. It takes time, energy, and of course, it's not scalable. So we realize that technology can help real estate funds to purchase at large scale. Simp is a platform that uses data to find great opportunities for real estate funds at large scale. Let me show you Simp. The customer chooses his investment strategy. After he gets the result, he can dive in and take a closer look at the portfolio. In order to make a decision, we provide him the most relevant information by clicking the detail button. After he made the decision, he can track the purchase process until it's completely done. Simp is fast, nationwide, and empowers real estate funds to purchase at large scale. Basically, it transforms the art of investment into science. The real estate industry is now quickly adopting new technology, so we believe the time is right for us. A few words about our team. Anton had more than 10 years hands-on experience in developing and leading engineering and data scientist team. Danny, a walking Bible for residential real estate in the US, with thousands of transactions behind him and more than 17 years of experience. And myself, masters at sales, marketing, and business development, especially in the real estate field, with more than 10 years of experience. We all came together to build Simp because we have passion to solve this problem and we're excited by building things from scratch. Thank you so much for coming today, and we have a special thanks for the awesome team of Wasna, Jordan, Bar, and Oshrat. You guys are amazing. See you upstairs later on.
Hi, I'm Rachel Mendelovich. I'm co-founder and CEO of 262 Days, a smart market network for event production. So I want you to think back on your last vacation, how you were able to book everything you needed, book flights, hotel, car rental, all in under 30 minutes online. Boom, done. Same goes if you wanted to purchase an insurance or seek a job or even renovate your house, all online under 30 minutes. This is not the case for event planning. In fact, it takes an event planner between 4 to 6 weeks to plan a single or book a single service for her event. Given the fact that a typical event would require 5 different services, and a decent event planner plans between, oh, forgot about that. And a decent event planner would plan between 150 to 200 events a year. Do I even need to say more? 262 Days is transforming the event industry for both event planners and vendors of services by providing an automated and structured way to ask and receive proposals. We're able to learn from each proposal, both the offering and the pricing, so that by the X+1 proposal, we know exactly what is it that the vendor is offering you and how much it's going to cost you. Using our technology, an event planner will be able, finally, to book everything she needs for her event in under 30 minutes online. But here is where it gets interesting. Down the road, we'll be able to take all of that and combine it with analysis on the trends of supply and demand, as well as competition, to be able to not only predict pricing, but effectively determine it. And really, this is where marketplaces are heading. This is the next big thing for marketplaces. Because we've had listings, we've had unbundled listings, we had full stack solutions. But really, the next big thing for marketplaces is going to be smart marketplace, and 262 Days is going to be leading the marketplace or the smart marketplace for the event industry. And we couldn't have picked up a better industry, because this is a huge $461 billion market in North America alone, and it's ripe for disruption. This is thanks to a combination of three major trends. One is enabling technology. As you know, machine learning have become so mature that it's really very easy to take a small data set and be able to predict prices using it. The second trend is the fact that this market is undergoing major consolidations that pushes all the commission down for event planners, and they're forced to find solutions to stay competitive and profitable. The third one has to do with the fact that there are currently 141,000 event planners in the United States. That number is expected to grow 11% every year. Out of those 11%, the majority are going to be younger generation who are used to having online transactions. So I founded 262 Days together with my partner in crime, Eyal, and we spent the first 6 months just producing events for companies, high-tech companies mainly. And for the love of God, I don't know why they let us, and it was sheer agony, but it allowed us to learn so much about the inside out of this business, and we have applied all of these insights into 262 Days, and we're getting very good feedback and encouraging inputs from our closed beta group. We are heading towards releasing the public beta group come January, so stay tuned. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Tamar Shapira, and I'm here to talk to you about web accessibility. A few months ago, I was traveling to New York when I met Helen, a 45-year-old blind woman from New Jersey who loves to travel and play the piano. Helen and I had a conversation, and naturally I asked her how she uses the internet. And she told me she doesn't. I said, Helen, why don't you use the internet? She said, I can't. I said, Helen, don't you have a screen reader? She said, nah, honey, I can't use those things. They confuse me. They start talking about the title and the images, and then they read something. I don't use the internet. Like Helen, 1 out of 6 people are living with a disability that we may not even know of. We're talking about vision impairments, hearing impairments, cognitive disabilities, and physical disabilities that may cause inefficiencies for using the internet. In fact, 71% of people living with disabilities report trouble browsing the internet. Why is that? Well, a website needs to be coded according to specific guidelines and standards for web accessibility that have actually become regulations and laws in certain countries around the world. What happens is people with disabilities who are using assistive technologies, like Helen's screen reader, depend on the compatibility between their technology and the website. So if the website is not coded correctly, the technology just doesn't work. Actually, less than 5% of websites around the world are accessible. That means that we have a lot to work on. And website owners have a problem as well. First of all, there's a loss of revenue of almost $7 billion for managing an inaccessible website. What's more, litigation is on the rise, especially in the United States, where we see that every year lawsuits, class action suits are increasing because of inaccessibility and no national law yet. So what can be done? Well, you need to test your website for web accessibility on an ongoing basis, fix the errors, and then monitor your site to ensure that your website is accessible for anyone and everyone alike. And there's two ways to do it today. First of all, you can do it manually, which you'll probably get the most accurate results. It'll take you a lot of time to get the audit and probably very expensive, but you'll be able to check all of the content, both static and dynamic. You know, the content that comes up after you do something on the website. But most companies are turning to automatic solutions, which are giving them inaccurate results, inefficient, and also partial auditing of the compliance. Why? Because they're not covering everything. Remember, you need to go back to the manual testing to be able to test the dynamic content. Until today, Sensit is introducing an automatic tool to be able to test your static and dynamic content so that your web accessibility efforts are more efficient. We scan your website, analyze and diagnose according to the guidelines. We then endorse your site after you've fixed it and continue to monitor it. Our SaaS enterprise platform allows you to manage all of your web accessibility needs with an automatic testing tool and all the support you need in order to ensure compliance, usability, and functionality at all times. And we've put a team together of experts. Eitan, our CTO, has over 40 years' experience in software engineering. Nadav brings his expertise in accessibility as a certified consultant for the last 10 years. And I have been building businesses for the last 10 years with a passion for social entrepreneurship to create businesses that do good and make money. Our vision is to become the global leader in automatic testing for web accessibility to enable an accessible internet. We're entering a market that's over $10 billion around the world just for companies that are using testing tools today that are not efficient for them. And the market is growing. We want to see that people with disabilities like Helen can use their screen readers and actually browse the web and reap the benefits of the internet. We've come a long way. We're working with El Al today to ensure that they're compliant under the strict policies of the Department of Transportation, and we're pending agreements with various international and national organizations to see that their web accessibility and their internal softwares can be used by everyone. So if you like our new approach to facilitate equal access to the web, we're looking to partner and to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamar, and thank you to all the amazing companies that pitched for us today. Thank you to you, everyone, for coming, and just a big round of applause to everyone. And we welcome you to go up to the 6th floor to the loft to join us for a bit of drinks and a bit of food and to talk to the companies mainly. The elevator is quite slow, so if you're up for it, you're more than welcome to take the stairs. We'll see you up there. Thank you, everyone.